Hey guys, welcome back. Tomorrow I'll be leaving Japan for 3 weeks and I'm going to be leaving this fish room. So I want to show you guys the preparations, what I've done in order to leave this place for 3 weeks. And yeah, there's not much to it actually, but I haven't made a video like this before. I think I might have made one similar to this maybe 2 years ago. Or last year even, I can't remember, but this time I feel like my system is quite dialed in and I'm really happy with how everything is right now. In the past I had to have all my tanks fed by my aunt or uncle. They both help me out with feeding the fish while I'm away, so I'm really grateful for that. But in the past, I had many more tanks. Like 2-3 years ago, I had more racks and more fish and much more tanks than what I have now. And it was very, very difficult to get them to feed all my fish because there's just so many. So I have reduced the amount of fish I keep, and I have put auto feeders on some of my tanks. So most of them don't need feeding. And so these 4 tanks here, these 3 have auto feeders, and this one doesn't have any fish right now. There's a shrimp. The shrimp is really red right now because it jumped out earlier and I managed to save it in time, so I should put a lid on this tank, but it's doing okay. But yeah, there's no fish in this tank, so this tank doesn't need to be fed. And I've done water changes on all these tanks, so they should be good for 3 weeks. I've done these 3-week trips a few times and they always seem to do okay. Unless it's a new setup, which I had one tank that did terribly, horribly when I set it up a month before leaving. These here are some Harlequin rasboras, cardinal tetras. I've got some Amano shrimp, and yeah, this tank has not been doing well. You can see the plants have just been dying, melting back. But the fish are okay, and we've got an auto feeder up here. So this thing goes once a day. I feed the least amount possible because I don't want the water getting all dirty. So yeah, I try to feed as little as possible while I'm away. So this tank here too, this has my rainbow fish, the 𝗲𝗾𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 rainbow fish, which are really beautiful. The males are just gorgeous. The females, not so much, but I have 5 of them, and I'm hoping to breed them in the future. So that's the plan with these guys, grow them out a bit, and then try to breed them in the future. But this also has an auto feeder. It's on the side here because I've got a cutout in the glass, and the food drops directly into the water. I can actually test it out right now. I'll test it out with the tank over there. So this here are my 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀, the half orange rainbow fish, and you can just see how beautiful they look. The males for rainbow fish are usually the more striking ones. They've got more color. And then the females not so much, but still very beautiful fish. So this tank also got water changed yesterday, and here is the auto feeder. So I can manually feed them as well by just turning this. And some food does drop out, but there's nothing much I can do about that. So it is quite a little bit, but they get fed every day while I'm away, which is good because even when I'm in Japan, when I'm here at home, I don't feed them every day. There are days that I feed my fish 2 or 3 times a day, and then there are days that I don't feed them at all. I like to give them days off so that they can detox and get rid of everything. I don't know why. It's one of my friends in Singapore did that. He didn't feed his fish every Sunday, so I've also been doing the same ever since I heard that. So these tanks, the lights are going to go off anytime now, so it's gonna go dark. The lights are dimming down. And all the lights are on auto timers, so I don't have to touch that at all. Not auto timers, but they're controlled by the app. These are 𝗲𝗾𝘀𝗀𝘀 lights, so you can control the brightness and the settings using the phone app. But yeah, these tanks are all really solid, and now the air stone have just gone off. So I do aerate these tanks at night when the lights go off, and the air stone will keep going until tomorrow morning or tomorrow noontime when the lights turn back on. So you can see these tanks as well have air stones. I do want to change the air stones though. I don't like these colorful ones. Yeah, so all of these have air stones. Now over here, this rack requires manual feeding. So these are the only tanks that my aunt or uncle will have to feed for me. So let's start off with this bottom tank. This here are my platies. They're tuxedo platies, red tuxedo platies, and they're really beautiful. I really didn't have any interest in them until recently. I just saw them at a fish store and I thought they were really cute and striking at the same time. So I wanted to get a few and try to breed them, and we have succeeded because I found 2 babies, and the babies have gotten quite big. I noticed them quite late, actually. So I don't know where they are right now, but we'll try to find them. So right there is one small little baby, and there should be another one somewhere. So I'm really happy that these have produced for me. So you can see this one compared to these ones up here. So I'm hoping to get more babies of these, breed them, and maybe share them or sell them for some profit in the future, just for fun, because I really like these fish. Maybe even use them in a contest tank in the future. But yeah, I've really been enjoying these fish. The other day I was sitting down on the sofa just staring right into this tank, and that's when I found these little babies. So really nice. It's nice to sit in front of your tanks and just watch them sometimes. And the plants in here, these are guppy grass with some anubias, and I'm just trying to let the guppy grass grow as much as possible so that we can have them breed naturally and the fry can hide and they can fend for themselves without the parents trying to eat them, because yeah, fish are known to eat their babies. Over here, oh, this tank here. Now this tank over here doesn't have any fish, so that's why I put this big X, and written in Japanese is saying that no food is required, no feeding necessary, just to be clear. I do have some plants in there though, and the plants have been in there for many months now, and they've been doing absolutely beautifully, so I'm just gonna leave them in there. Now moving up top, these are the parents of all of those guys. You can see the lights are dimming down. They're still on, but it's getting much darker. So these are the parents. I've got a trio of them. I think it's 2 males and 1 female. And they've been doing amazing. But these guys are on a different food. They're on the red ones. So these are slightly bigger pellets. I think I need to top this up. It might be... Did I top it up yesterday? Oh yeah, I did. Okay, so I did top it up yesterday. So that is what I'm giving them. It is still quite a small size pellet. There you can see. That's what I'm giving them. And it's the same food as what their children are getting over there. So same exact food. I've got 3 different types: the red, the green, and the blue. Now the green one is for the plecos. So I've got a few of these leopard frog plecos. They're hiding in the caves right now. And then there's one more in there, but they don't come out unless it's dark or unless there's no one disturbing them. So that is the green food for them. And the blue one are for the small fish. So like the platies get the blue color, and these little babies, as well as my Vietnamese white cloud minnows. So they get the blue color food, and in addition to that food, I've put up a sign here that says you may feed this as well. Like if they want, like if they don't want to, it's not needed, but this is fry food for baby fish. And my uncle likes feeding fish, so he has a lot of rice fish, Japanese rice fish, and he feeds them multiple times a day. So yeah, so I think he may enjoy doing this. But it's a very, very fine food, and these guys will go crazy for it. So these are also babies of these guys. So I've got a lot of Boesemani rainbow fish babies. So that's nice, yeah. So I'm gonna try to grow them out. My white cloud mountain minnows also have produced 1 baby for me. Right there. I don't know if this camera will focus on it, but it's really small, and I've only got 1 right now. I hope that they'll breed much more for me moving on. And I want to breed them naturally. I don't want to take them out and breed them in a different tank. I want to do it all in that own tank. With the rainbow fish, it's a bit hard to do that because they do predate very heavily on their fry. But with white cloud mountain minnows, as well as platies and guppies, it's possible to breed them in the same tank as long as you have many plants. So that's the goal for me, to try to keep most of these tanks easy and low maintenance, because I think that's what I really enjoy. That's in the past few months I've realized that I enjoy these low maintenance tanks and focusing on fish that I really like and enjoy, which currently I've only got these 3 different types of fish and the pleco. I do want to get more, but because I've been traveling a lot this year, I just don't want to burden myself and my uncle and aunt to have to feed them, and I want to take things slow until I'm fully settled in. Now over here, the light turned off for this, but this is one of my orchids, and I'll be spraying this thing down before I leave. This thing will do okay. It's very hardy, as well as the cryptocoryns. I've got all these up here are cryptocoryns, and they're very low maintenance. You don't have to touch them at all. So just before I leave, I'll be misting them down with some water and some plant fertilizer spray, and they'll be okay. Because even now, while I'm here, I hardly do anything with them. I don't touch them at all, and they're growing perfectly fine. They're slow growers, but they do perfectly okay. And then I've got a fern in here and some cryptocorn in here as well, so they'll be fine. Oh, and this right here just tells them that I want them to put a lid on this tank, whereas all the other tanks, they don't need to be lid because the fish won't jump out. But these rainbow fish, they're known to jump. I just want to make sure that after they feed the fish, they close the lid. So that's all for that. Now over here I've got some plants. Some terrestrial plants, ferns and begonias and bulbitis. But this will just be left alone and nothing needs to happen. The humidity is already high in there. I've got sphagnum moss at the bottom, so they don't need to touch this at all. Moving on, this is my contest tank, which I'll need to do maintenance later. I want to trim it once before I leave. I'm sorry I can't show this right now, but I'll show it to you in a few months' time when the results are announced. But the plants are starting to come out of the surface, so I'm gonna have to trim this before I leave. Now over here it's still quite a mess. I am cleaning up and getting ready to leave. Alright, let's take a quick look at this tank. This is my 60p Mount Anubias version 2. I made a video of this a few months ago and it's been doing really well. I did a water change on this yesterday, but this tank has actually been running with the lights off for the past few months. So I did go to Singapore in March, and ever since then the lights have been turned off. So from March, April, May, and now June, the lights have been off for 4 straight months, but the plants have been doing okay. All I've got in here are 𝗲𝘾𝗀𝘀𝘀 and Anubias, and they've been growing amazingly. I've got some microsorums in there, but they're just extra. They're not meant to be in this tank. And this tank does get some sunlight from this window over here. I'm gonna leave the curtain open while I'm away, so it'll get some sunlight, but I haven't had a problem with algae. Maybe a little bit of algae on the glass, but nothing too horrible. So yeah, and also there is no CO2 going in this tank. So now moving on over here, let me talk about these plants. So these are some of my house plants. My aunt likes house plants, so she'll be helping me water these while I'm away, as well as this ficus. And then my lace plant, this has been doing amazing without any light for a year now, I think. I have a video of this as well, but yeah, it's been growing incredibly well. And I did build a stand for it. So this is a 1-foot cube stand, 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter. And it's, yeah, I have attached it to the wall as well so that it doesn't move if we have an earthquake. But I'm really happy with this lace plant tank. Now over here, the paludarium, I haven't gotten any further ever since the video of me building it, but once I get back, I will definitely be working on it. Let me turn the light on for you so you guys can see it. So there it is. Not much to it. I am really excited to get this thing planted and all set up. And also I did get spray foam. It's right there waiting for me till I get back, and you can kind of see the color. It's this like light greenish bluish color. Not really ideal for these paludarium setups, but it's all I could find here and it's just what I've got to work with. So I'm not complaining about that because I'm sure we can work with it, but yeah, I wish I could get gray or black. Yeah, so that is the paludarium, or the terrarium actually, this will be. And moving on over here is the rack for the system Paluda as well as the Neoglass Paluda. So down here is the Neoglass Paluda, and I've got some cryptocoryns and Anubias in here. Very low maintenance. I don't have to do much with this. I'll probably give it a spray before I leave. And I think maybe some plants will dry and wither like this. But Anubias and cryptocoryne are pretty hardy, and it's also got a good light on here, so it should be no problem. I've also got some orchids in the back there, but they're also very hardy. The light I'm using here is the Chihiros Universal RGB, WRGB, and it's a very nice light. It's low profile, it suits well on this system Paluda or the Neoglass Paluda, very flat. And I will be making a video with this in the future when I get this tank set up. I'm excited to do this, but there's just so many things going on and I'm traveling so much this year, so I apologize. There's not much I can do in the fish room, but just I gotta take things slowly and do things one step at a time. Over here I've got cryptocoryne. It's called the cryptocoryne Noritoi from Indonesia. And I started with only one stem, or one plant, and it's propagated. I've grown it to a few more, and I want to try to keep growing this, so that's that. And then down below here are some crystal red shrimp that I got to try to breed. but haven't had much success, and that's mostly because I haven't been putting in the time and effort into them. So there's really not much I can complain about. So that is my 2025 fish room tour, and also preparation before I leave for 3 weeks. Let me know in the comments below, what's the most amount of time you've left your fish and your fish room for vacation or business trip. And also I'm interested to hear what your setup is like. Do you have people feeding your fish, your neighbors or friends, family feeding your fish, or do you have it on auto timer, auto feeding system, and auto water change? What's your setup and routine like for when you leave? Write it down in the comments below, because maybe there's some things I can learn and use from you guys. So I'll see you guys next time.